So in this video I'm going to show you 5 different core exercises for you to add into your training routines. This is obviously not an exhaustive list, but these are 5 exercises that I think are some of the best core exercises you can do that can be added into almost any training routine. We'll get straight into it. Exercise number 1 is the one that most people absolutely dread. It's the plank. So when doing a plank, we want to keep our spine neutral, okay, and we keep the core stable, because that is the role of the core, is to stabilize the spine. I have a whole YouTube video on everything core related, so check that out if you haven't already. So to get into our plank position, we're going to put our legs back, get on our forearms, and then it's all about getting that neutral spine, okay? So I'm in alignment from head to toe. Right, we don't want our bum coming up here, our hips dropping to the floor. We're going to be nice and engaged, feel the tension in the core, okay? Now, to regress this, you can either use your hands, or you can even put your knees on the floor, okay? To make it more intense, you can do a plank pull through. So get an object, get into the plank position again, this time on your hands, and then what you're going to do is you're going to get that object and just pull it through from one side to the other. Alright, so now what you've done is you've just added that dynamic element to the exercise. It's still an isometric exercise for the core because we're not allowing movement at the core, but it's a dynamic movement around the core. So that adds more of a challenge. So that is the plank. Next exercise is going to be the dead bug. So with a dead bug, you're just going to lay on the floor. Okay, just going to put my top down there. So on our backs, and what you're going to do, you're going to bring your knees up and put your arms straight ahead of you as if you're trying to touch the ceiling. From here, one leg is going to go down towards the floor and the opposite arm is going to go up above the head towards the floor as well. So if I take my left leg, it goes down, my right arm also goes back, and then we bring them back up to neutral. Okay, and then the same with the other leg, other arm goes back, bring them back together. Now, the whole time we're doing that, we need that core to stay engaged. We're not allowing any movement at the core, okay? So there's distal movement, but at the actual core, we're staying completely stiff and stable, okay? Now to regress that exercise, you could just do the arms or just do the legs. However, a proper dead bug will be using both areas so that you're challenging both the sagittal plane and the transverse, because we're preventing any rotation as well as flexion and extension. Third exercise is going to be a bird dog. Now, bird dog is essentially a dead bug but inverted. So we're going to be on our hands and knees for this one. Now, with a bird dog, like I said, hands and knees, we're going to find a neutral position for the core, okay? So we're not going to be extended or flexed. So you're going to find where neutral is. So there we go, we're about neutral there, okay? From there, we're going to bring one arm up and forward, whilst we're going to kick the other leg back and extend. Now, when we're doing that, we're not allowing any movement at the core, just like we did in the dead bug. So if I'm going to put my right leg back, my left arm's going to come forward. So right leg back, left arm forward and back. Right arm forward, left leg back and back. And repeat that. Again, a regression for the bird dog would be just doing the legs. So just kicking the legs back and bringing it back again, or just doing the arms. Okay, so that's exercise number 3. Exercise number 4 is something a little bit different. This is a suitcase carry, otherwise known as a single arm farmer's carry. So for this one, find a potentially heavier weighted object, a dumbbell, a kettlebell, something like that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have it by our side. So now what we're doing here is our obliques down the side of our torso are engaged to prevent lateral flexion. So to make this exercise more challenging, we're going to add the dynamic approach as we have in other exercises, and we're going to walk with it. Walking forwards, walking backwards, Again, the core is staying completely rigid, completely stiff and neutral whilst we move around it. That is what adds the challenge to these exercises. Okay, so this is using the obliques. So that is exercise number 4. Exercise number 5 is the Palloff press. Now this exercise can be done kneeling or it can be done standing. For the purpose of this demonstration, it's going to be kneeling. You need to find yourself a immovable object, something rigid, some kind of structure. I've got a squat rack here, resistance band attached to it. Now you need a resistance band for this exercise, and you attach it to your immovable object and you bring it in nice and tight across the body, okay, and you hold your band in nice and tight to your torso. I'm completely in the mid range of my torso here, right? Now from here we should already be feeling tension across the core. We're then going to move that out, extending the arms, and then come back in, out and in. So that's the Palloff press, and the reason that adds more intensity and more a challenge than just holding it here is because the moment arm is extended. So now our core is working harder to keep us neutral and prevent rotation than we are here, because the moment arm's now longer. Okay, so that is the Palloff press, and that is your 5 exercises that you should now feel comfortable taking into your exercise programs, or just to do during the day to provide yourself with some challenges to strengthen the core and to get something extra out of your sessions. So hopefully you have gained something from this. Give it a like, a share, and whatever you want to do with it, and yeah, hopefully it helps you.